What's good, guys? And welcome to another episode of Zeno's Mini Football Logic. It's obviously Zeno here. And today we're going to talk about the 4-3. The 4-3, you know what I mean by the 4-3. Liverpool 4, Tottenham Hotspur 3. Now, where to start? A lot of things happened in this game. Let's be real here. A lot of things happened after this game. Obviously, I'm talking about the match a few hours after it was done and after rewatching the game on Match of the Day, after watching it live. And damn, man, what the hell is wrong with Tottenham in the opening 15 minutes of a football game? The Newcastle match literally went 4-0 down in like 16, 17 minutes and went 5-0 down after 20. In this game, it was literally 3-0 after, it was 2-0 after 5 minutes. And then it was 3-0 after like 15, 16 minutes. It looked like it was literally the same thing was going to happen again. But under Ryan Mason, for some weird reason, we have this extra attribute where we seem to fight back. Obviously, in the last episode, I talked about how Tottenham managed to come back. In their last game against United, they were able to turn the deficit, a 2-0 halftime deficit, into a 2-2 draw. And it looked like they just repeated the same thing again. They were 3-0 down this time. Well, 3-1 down. Because obviously Kane got the goal before halftime, even though Kulusevski should have scored and Son should have scored if it wasn't for Virgil van Dijk clearing off the line. You know, Virgil van Dijk, who got absolutely scored for the first goal, by the way, that Tottenham scored. But nonetheless, it was 3-1, but it could have been so much more. And then the second half, the chances that we had at the beginning of the chances that Tottenham had at the beginning of the second half, literally, Son hit the post, and then Romero hit the post. At this point, it could have been 3-3 by this point. Like, it could have been 3-3. The comeback could have been complete. You know? Obviously, Liverpool took the lead 3 minutes in. What's his name? Curtis Jones, with his first Premier League goal of the season from another Trent Alexander-Arnold assist. Him playing in central midfield is something that I've been telling people that Liverpool should have done a long time ago, because naturally, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a central midfielder. He just got pushed to right back when he was coming up to the final level of the ranks at senior level, and Klopp decided to play him as a right back. And his quality at, you know, being able to deliver an accurate pass had turned him into one of the best right backs in the world. But unfortunately, you know, as we can all see, he was never able to improve his defensive game to a level that matched close to his attacking output. Nonetheless, enough about that. It became 2-0 in the flash when Cody Gakpo was sent through and he put a cross in for Luis Diaz, who made his first start since his injury. You know, he managed to finish near post. So obviously at this point, everyone's thinking history is repeating itself. Another 6-1 incoming. Another embarrassment incoming for Tottenham Hotspur, you know, who apparently have conceded more goals this year than any other team apart from Leeds, which in itself is an absolutely disgusting achievement and something that should not be happening. But the reality is, if Dyer starts for you every single game, how good could your defense really be? You know, with that man starting in defense, the man that I call diabolical. You know, this guy has been at the club for so long and he hasn't shown enough improvement or enough true quality to justify the tenure of his career at Tottenham. It just doesn't make sense why he's still there after all these years. Nonetheless, obviously it became 3-0 when Romero took down Gakpo and Salah clipped the penalty into the roof of the net. And then suddenly, just like the United game, the fight back gene under Mason seemed to kick in a bit earlier than it did in the United game. And then Tottenham started to care a bit more. They started to play some football, you know. But as we're learning now with Tottenham, especially under Ryan Mason, Tottenham seem to do this when, you know, they're behind rather than start the game like this. Now, if Tottenham start the game like this, suddenly they're a force that cannot be defeated. You know, play like that with that kind of intensity, all of a sudden you could be winning these sorts of games instead of trying to fight back. You know, the Newcastle game would have been nice to see them fight back full stop, but I guess it was a different manager. Clearly, Stellini couldn't get them up like Ryan Mason got them up. You know, and now we're in this situation here where Tottenham could have easily went into halftime, despite the game starting pretty much like the Newcastle game, where they almost corrected the mistakes they made without actually correcting the main mistakes and actually offering a better reaction to the result or to the situation they were in by being able to actually fight back quicker, hence giving themselves the platform to fight in the second half and completely turn the game around. All in all, Liverpool, they took their chances, and you know when they had the chances, they took them. But there was a lot of defensive errors. Once again, Tottenham were too wide open. Pedro Porro and Perisic in a defensive back line just doesn't work on a defensive level. When you play against the teams like Liverpool, Newcastle, United, even you can't play those guys. You need to have one more naturally defensive wing back. Either it be Emerson when he comes back from injury, or Ben Davis, who played as a left centre back today or in this game, and he did, okay, I guess, but it's literally like he could have just put Longley there and played Davis as left wing back. Obviously, Perisic played decent. He did set up Kane's goal, but honestly, the defensive weakness of Pedro Porro is horrible, and so is the case of Perisic, because Porro lost his man back post. He didn't know Jones was behind him. Anyways, enough about that. In the second half, Tottenham showed true fight, but as we all know, Tottenham are a second half team. Yeah, they don't turn up in the first half. They fall asleep first half. Second half, they wake up. This was how it was even when Conte was here. This is just how they've always been, and it's very, very frustrating if you're a fan of these man, because it's literally like, just play like this in the first half, and then all of a sudden, suddenly you're gonna end up getting better results. That's how it should work, anyways. But anyways, Tottenham did all of the right things, got themselves back. Son scored finally. Yeah, eventually. And Richarlison finally got his first goal for Tottenham in the Premier League after 22 games. In his 23rd game for Tottenham, he finally scored. And obviously he shushed the crowd and stuff because, the Everton connection. Only for the replay cameras to stop running and to see Lucas Moura putting a beautiful through ball for Jota to then latch onto and slot into the far corner. You know how short-lived that joy must have been? It was extremely short-lived. Tottenham fans were still celebrating for flip's sake. A sweet comeback from 3-0 down, you can't blame them. This was a comeback that came against all the odds. Obviously Liverpool didn't help themselves, but boy did Tottenham put the pressure on in that second half in particular. And all of that hard work slipped away because of one dodgy tactical decision by Ryan Mason to take off Pedro Porro and put on Lucas Moura, who isn't even a right wing back. Yeah, that sucks. You thought our wing backs, you thought Tottenham's wing backs were offensive before those substitutions? Think about it. We took off Perisic and we took off. Tottenham took off Perisic and they took off Pedro Porro and put on Danjuma and Lucas Moura. Two wingers to play a wing back. I get it. We're throwing everything at it, trying to get a goal, and it paid off. But as you can see, there was some consequences to that. A lack of focus, a lack of concentration, a lack of awareness, whatever you want to call it. It could be all of those things, in fact, that led to Jota, who, as we all know, might not have been on the pitch. Shouldn't have been on the pitch after he booted the hell out of Skip's head. Left him bleeding and stuff, and he had to get subbed off. Obviously Liverpool fans will come back with the whole, but he stepped on Luis Diaz's ankle. Stop it, man. He got the ball. Leave that alone, man. End of the day, it's in the eye of the beholder. You see how you see it based on your biases and within your agendas. But the truth is, Jota was a very, very lucky guy to be on the pitch. And I'm talking about Jota here, not Skip. I'm talking about how lucky he was to be on the pitch, to be the man to win the game for Liverpool. Got Klopp so hyped that he pulled his hamstring and stuff, and he still taunted the fourth official, which is crazy to me. But Klopp is a madman anyways. If you hear his comments after the game and stuff, talking about how, oh man, Tottenham should just play better. He's got beef against Tottenham's style of play, and it's actually so jokes. But I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to go into any more detail. The consequences of this game are quite clear. Tottenham's chances at top four are dead, finished. I said this in episode 78, and I'm saying it now in episode 79. The chances are done. If I see Tottenham in the top four, I don't know what the hell just happened in it. Someone must have got a penalty for something in it, the points deduction or something, because it's not going to happen. I'll be shocked to even see Tottenham in the Europa League spots, to be honest, because Brighton are coming. So, honestly, Liverpool keep their fate hopes alive. And I said it in 78, they have a very tiny chance just because of who they are. Liverpool are a world-class team, and these 4 successive victories in a row, this one, the least out of all of them, shows their quality and how good they were in the past, in the seasons before this year. So it's no surprise that things are starting to correct for them and they're starting to now slowly try and climb up. If United and Newcastle slip up, Liverpool will be the team to take advantage. It won't be Tottenham Hotspur, because as you can see, they're in no condition. 46 goals conceded in 23 matches. 12 goals conceded. I believe it's 12. Yeah, 6 Newcastle, 2 United, 4 this game. That's 12 goals conceded, yeah, in just 4 games. Yeah? We can extend it to 15 and 5. Yeah? It's not good. They're conceding too many goals. Too many goals. The 3 at the back doesn't work. Obviously, the most goals that was conceded in the game in that period was when they switched to a 4-3-3. But that 4-3-3 was the most misguided thing I've ever seen Tottenham do in a long time. And trust me, I've seen Tottenham do some really misguided things, really misguided things. Anyways, and the overall scale of play, to conclude, a draw would have been the best result. I think both teams deserve to get a point each out of it. Of course, the way that Liverpool started, they start like a house on fire, but Tottenham, as we know traditionally nowadays, they like to give teams that advantage at the beginning of football matches. But they just completely shut down. After taking that 3-0 lead, they logged off. The difference between them and Newcastle was quite stark. Newcastle kept going. Liverpool just shut off, just kept the ball, passed it around, thought the job was done. Nope. You forgot this is Mason's Tottenham, not Stellini's Tottenham. And as a result, Tottenham found the way to fight back. And, it was a fantastic, show of heart and desire, just like in the Man United game, to get back into the game. But of course, this time, a dodgy tactical, substitution cost them the game. Lucas Moura lost concentration. He's a free agent in the summer. Is he going to fight for Tottenham the same way he used to? I doubt it. Hence why he doesn't play as much, But these things happen in football. But of course, they're always going to happen to Tottenham. Richarlison celebrating, shushing the crowd only for a few seconds later to see the ball in the back of the net. It's pain. A lot of people will enjoy that because a lot of people hate Richarlison. But it's pain if you're a Tottenham fan. And pain if you want to see Tottenham win, which is not a lot of people, to be honest, I can't lie. But it is what it is. Liverpool, didn't have many opportunities to score, but when they did, they scored. And that's just how it is. Tottenham hit the post 3 times. This is the difference. One team took their chances, the other did not. So that's just how it is. I think I'm going to end it here. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Be sure to like and subscribe, if you have not already, because these videos are going to start pumping out. Start pumping out. That doesn't even make sense. Going to start pumping out at an alarming rate. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Mini Laji.